Welcome back, everyone, to another gear review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Condor Terrasaur knife. I'm pretty excited to take a look at this. This knife has come about from the collaboration. Oh, yeah, very Mora-like. Collaboration between Condor Tool and Knife and Joe Flowers. He is the owner of Bushcraft Global out of North Carolina. I've watched quite a few videos with him in it, going down into South America. Pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting. Alright, give you a nice little look. This box is pretty plain. There ain't nothing to this box. Oh, wait a minute, what do we got in here? Oh, okay. Looks like a product catalog for Condor. Now, right out the gate, I'm going to tell you, I'm a little biased against Condor, always because I felt their prices were pretty high. You know, it's out of El Salvador, you know. Here you go. Will rust if not properly maintained after each use. Yep, that's what I've been saying for a long time. And what do we got here? Got a sticker. Okay. Give you a look at it. It's very, very much Mora-like. In fact, some would say, let me see here if I can... Yep. You can slide that collar off and reverse it for left or right hand carry. There's an indentation on either side that this will snap over. You can see right here it says El Salvador Condor. Okay, so it's very much Mora-like. Get it out here, take a look at it. Now, further information, let's get into some specs on this. The original Terrasaur that came out in 2009-2010 was 1075 high carbon, and that didn't last very long. There were issues, so they ended up going back to the drawing board, and the Terrasaurs that are out now are 1095 high carbon steel. 1095 is an excellent blade steel. I'm very familiar with it. Good stuff. Now, as you can see, this is very much like a Mora. You know, you got the Scandi grind, even the blade shape, everything. Dimensions. Overall length of this blade, that's from tip to end, is 8.83 inches or 22.4 centimeters. Blade length is 4.15 inches or 10.5 centimeters. Thickness on the blade is 1/8 of an inch or 3.175 centimeters. It appears to have, I don't know if that's a 90-degree spine or not. I mean, it is shaving off my thumbnail, but most 90-degree spines I deal with kind of like will bite into my thumbnail. We will see if it is a true 90 or not. As I showed you earlier, you can reverse the sheath for left or right hand carry. The sheath and the handle are high impact polypropylene. Now, that's good and that's bad. It's good because it'll take a good beating and it'll last a long time. It's bad because this handle, its shape, its ergonomics are good, but the same thing I said when I reviewed the Mora Garberg, which this has design elements of the Mora Garberg with this exposed tang here in the butt. If they would have just, in this area here where you have this pseudo, checkering, if they would have done that molded in rubber stuff along with this polypropylene, man, that would have been awesome. But it's just straight polypropylene, and it's you know, it's hard. That's my only complaint so far. Alright, I bought this off Amazon for $42.43, so it fits right in to our under $50 knife challenge. So we're going to find out, is this a good knife? Is it going to handle a beating? But before we get to that, I pulled the Mora Garberg out just so you could get a look. And like I said, it's very much Garberg-like. It's almost the same dang dimensions. So you can see the Mora Garberg stainless next to this Condor Terrasaur, which is 1095 high carbon steel. They both have an exposed tang, and they both are a Scandi grind blade. Alright. Let's, I couldn't find a listed weight for this blade, so we're going to go ahead and weigh it and see what it comes in at. Okay, we'll do pounds first. Just the blade, 4.5 ounces. In grams, 129 grams. With the sheath, whoops, I don't want that to fall off. See if we can do that without it rocking. There we go. 6.25 ounces total with sheath, or 177 grams. Not too bad. So, get that out of here. So, let's take this guy outside and put it through some paces, and I'll give you, I'll do my best to see if it's worth the money. Alright, we're going to start off by seeing if we can do some light batoning with the Terrasaur. Now, this being a short blade, I can't baton a very large piece of wood. I got this burning out here because I got mosquitoes out here like horrible today. It rained yesterday, so mosquitoes are really active. This wood here is just about 1.5 inches in diameter. So let's see if it'll baton it. Oh yeah, did that like a champ. Let's continue. Let's quarter this piece up. Very nice, very nice. Well, Terrasaur did that very nicely. Okay. Let's try some cross batoning. I've got a piece of wood here. It's about 3/4 inch in diameter, or roughly just under 2 centimeters. I'll try some cross batoning. We'll see if this holds up or not. Sheared that off pretty good. I don't see any damage to the edge, no rolling. Alright. Now this piece of wood's got a lot of knots and such in it, so it's not really ideal for carving, but the knife is very sharp. You know, it just occurs to me, I didn't do a test inside with paper. Let me go get some notebook paper. So I have some phone book paper. I'm sorry, this totally slipped my mind earlier. Let's see if we can get some hair. Yeah, it's definitely cutting hair. Now, I have been beating and carving on it. Yeah. It's definitely... I should have checked it when it came out of the box. I'm sorry. You know, it's definitely sharp. So, it is what it is. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. Back to what I was doing when it occurred to me. It is always a challenge for me to do feather sticking, since I have not done it in ages, and this wood is not ideal for it. But it would definitely do it. So I got some walnuts here. As you can see, Mr. Squirrel has got to a few of these. This one hasn't been opened. So we're going to use the protruding tang of the Terrasaur here and try to bust these open like I would if I was in the field. And look at that. Got right in there, but this one's all dried out. There's no flesh to be eaten. Let me try the other side. Yep. No flesh, it's all dried out. So as you can see, that works very nicely to break that open. Whew. Some of these are hard. And you can get in there. Now, you can see where I caught the side of the handle, that polypropylene. These nuts are hard. But you can just run a cigarette lighter over that and smooth that back out. If you're worried about your aesthetics, your looks. There we go. So, protruding tang works really good as a hammer in most situations with the Terrasaur. I put this knife through its paces above and beyond most knives I test. Normally, when I test a knife, I'm using it for a week straight. And that's all kinds of things I'm using it for. The clips that I put in here for the video is just a very small percentage of what I use the knife for. I mean, cutting weeds off at the ground. I mean, we got some big weeds here. I'm clearing some ground, cutting suckers off trees. I know I've said this before in the video, but this knife gets a lot of use and a lot of abuse. And like I said, normally when I test a knife, it's a week-long test. I tested this knife for 2 weeks, mainly because I wanted to see for myself, because I started liking the knife, which I didn't think was going to happen. I honestly did not think I would like this knife. I thought I would end up hating this or not caring for it. I thought I'd end up feeling about this knife like I felt like with the Garberg. I thought the Garberg was overpriced. You know, the handle isn't that great. I can say that for this too. I don't like these hard polypropylene handles. If you're going to do an injected molded handle, you know, put some of that injected molded rubber in there, you know. Man, I can't complain too much though about this knife. I actually like it. It's a very good knife. It does everything the Mora Garberg Carbon would do. It's got all the same features. It's got the extended tang, lanyard hole. They're the same physical shape and size, roughly. The retention on this sheath started breaking in, so it wasn't as hard one-handed getting it in and out of the sheath after using it. So that first day when I was doing some filming and I was complaining about getting it out of the sheath, you know, that was before it had time to really break in. Now let's talk price. Right now, I just checked Amazon. This is listed at like 42 bucks. The Mora Garberg Carbon is listed at like 83 bucks. This is almost half the price. You could buy almost 2 of these for the same price for 1 Garberg. That is an amazing value. For a under $50 knife, this is very hard to beat. I guess my only real complaint is the handle. The handle, if it had some injected molded like rubber material for a better grip, especially when your hands are wet or sweaty, it would have been knocking it out of the park. You got to be careful with these kind of punko style handles because your hand can ride up and your fingers over that blade, and that thing is stupid sharp. Being a carbon blade, you have to wipe it down when you're done with it after you've cleaned it each day, especially if you live someplace humid like I do. And don't use gun oil or anything like that. I recommend mineral oil. It's food safe. That way, if you end up ingesting some, getting some during your food prep, it's not going to hurt you. So, overall, big thumbs up. Surprised the heck out of me. I recommend this. This would be an excellent beginner's knife too, because I don't think it costs that much. I mean, we're talking under 50 bucks here. For what it is, amazing. I mean, wow. Like I said, I didn't think I'd like it. I like it. So, that's all I got to say about the Condor Terrasaur. It hits above its price range. Totally good knife. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you later on out in those woods, maybe practicing with your knife.